Well, hello everybody. Welcome back to another episode of QuattroQuattroDos. As you can see on the video, I am doing this in a different way, very, very chilled. If you are listening, basically right now I'm just lounging on my couch and watching LA Galaxy, Portland Timbers. Halftime just ended, still 0-0. But I wanted to quickly push this episode out so you guys can have something to listen to during the week. And basically, I just wanted to talk about the Houston Dynamo LAFC game that we just witnessed, basically. But before we get to that, let me just tell you about social media stuff where you can find me in the show. Basically, QuattroQuattroDos on Instagram, QuattroQuattroDos is the name of the show. And you can find me under Chris Putalaz, Crisputallaz. And also I want to give a shout out to my wife if you're listening or watching. Thank you. She's the one actually helping me with, if you look at all the little graphics that have been coming out in the Instagram, and I've been posting on the Twitter too, and Facebook under my personal page. She's actually been helping me. So she has kind of taken the role of my digital, what's it called? My digital person, whatever that name is. So every time I need she's looking at me right now. But basically every time I need a picture to be up, I send it to her, she sets it up, and then we put it up on there. So I like it, it's pretty cool. She's smarter than me, obviously, that's why I married her. But yeah, let's go ahead and get talking about this game. 3-3, if you didn't watch it. Houston LAFC, obviously we are supposedly in the group of death, el grupo de la muerta, because obviously we have LAFC, LA Galaxy, and Portland Timbers. Probably, I would say LAFC and Portland Timbers are the two strongest teams in this, not tournament, but in our group. And then LAFC being that kind of almost at the same level of the Houston Dynamo per se. They have dropped their level drastically. And to be honest, the Houston Dynamo has also have been having kind of shitty years. So obviously, and we've been trying to move forward and kind of get ourselves back into the 2006-2007 shape. Championship years, basically. But, slowly but surely, I guess, we're getting there. So coming into this game, we had not an advantage per se, but the fact that Carlos Vela wasn't available for this game was a big plus, because obviously MVP, I think he got the golden boot, 30 plus goals in a year. Obviously, he's gonna make a whole difference when it comes to a game. A dude that basically he might score. Obviously everybody might score, but he has more of a chance because he's such a difference maker in the field. Houston. So going into the game, we started kind of slow, kind of shaky, kind of rusty, kind of like stiff. Honestly, when the first 10 minutes up to like 15-20 minutes almost, I was just I saw night coming. I was like, this is not gonna be good. We're just gonna even with Memo scoring in the first 10 minutes. Shout out to Memo if you're listening, come on the podcast. I just make myself laugh. But yeah, Memo, obviously he has become almost the difference changer, the difference maker, not changer, in our team. Also not having a Cristian Ramirez, which also he actually has been on the podcast, not on mine per se, but he's actually been on the Dynamo Theory feed. So if you actually look that up towards the beginning of the feed, you'll see the conversation I don't know why I keep calling him Dusty. Dustin had actually he had two conversations, one with Memo and one with Cristian Ramirez. And in my personal opinion, Cristian Ramirez is a very talented player that actually should be starting every game. I think he has the qualities, and I think he's very talented, and I think he could be maybe not our number 10, but I think if we play with 2 9s on top, I think him and Mauro Manotas could complement each other very, very well. But yeah, we didn't have him, so obviously you have to look at the other resources. And to be honest, the Houston Dynamo, when it comes to attacking players, we have a whole bunch. You're talking about Ellis, you're talking about Quinteros, who is a DP, and paying him a whole lot of money. You got Memo, of course. You got Tomas Martinez, I guess you can say. McNamara, fan favorite. And then Manotas, and who else? And obviously Cristian Ramirez. So obviously our starting lineup was very strong with those 4 up front. Ellis, Memo, Manotas, and Quinteros. Very, very strong. Bonnie Garcia, Vera in the middle, of course, to hold it down. And then the back 4, which is almost like by memory, Lundy, Maynard, Kiki, and Valentin on the right. But yeah, we started kind of very stiff. And you can actually tell that by the fact that we could not put 2 to 3 touches together. Like literally 1-2, give it away. 1-2, give it away. And it was just so frustrating. And I was like sitting here and I was like, yeah, we scored. But, it was like, in my head, I was like, it's a lucky counterattack. It's a lucky break that we got. And thankfully we have talented people like Memo that are able to get those balls and put them away. And then about minute 18, that's when Wright Phillips, the legendary Wright Phillips, that dude is like old as, well, I mean, not old like personally, but when it comes to soccer years, he's old. I think he's like in his 30s. But he's still wrecking it. I mean, he scored the first goal for LA, minute 18, and he was very, very close to scoring second goal exactly the same way. Or I felt like Lundy played a pretty shitty game. He was, I don't know if it was like, well, obviously it was maybe most likely part of the plan for him to go to the attack so much that I just felt like he left a giant hole where he was supposed to be. And obviously when you leave a giant hole against a team like LAFC, it's gonna show, and they showed it. I mean, they attacked like crazy. They kept coming, and we just got, in my personal opinion, we got lucky breaks, and that's how we were. I mean, other than the set piece where Ellie scored, and Memo's second goal, I guess you can also say it was a good counter in a way. But Lundy was going too high, in my opinion, and we had nobody to actually control the ball, keep the ball, play with the ball, hold the ball for like more than 10 seconds at a time. At one point in time with the guys at Dynamo Theory, we were like chatting, and they even suggested bringing Tomas Martinez. Personally, Tomas hasn't shown his true potential as a true number 10 and worthy of a DP spot. We were hoping that this is a year that actually he proves everybody wrong in a way. But, unfortunately, he didn't have the opportunity to come in. But when it comes to games like this, when you need somebody to hold the ball, he is probably the only player that we have personally. I mean, we still haven't seen our boy Palomino, but maybe we still don't know how Palomino actually works in a way, unless you were fortunate enough to see him before. But Tomas Martinez is probably the guy that we needed to hold the ball a little bit, because literally it was just pelotazo after pelotazo, through ball, long ball, looking for Ellis, looking for Manotas, looking for somebody to make that run. And as we saw in the second half, we were dead. So many runs down the line by Ellis. You can only run so much. But it is what it is. So by minute 30, actually, we started becoming a little bit more efficient when it came to our passes, a little bit more efficient when it actually came to those through balls, not vols. We started to become a little. Look at this guy. What's up? I got a visitor. My son just woke up from sleeping, and he's just staring at me. What's up, dude? I'm doing a podcast, bro. This is not good podcasting. Go to sleep. But yeah, let me keep going. What was I? Yeah, so about minute 30, we were doing a little bit better. We were getting a little bit more efficient when it came to passes. We were losing the ball a lot, in my opinion. Yeah, he came out and he went back into his room. We were a little bit more efficient. We were putting better through balls, better crosses, which actually got us a second ball, by cross by Sarek, Valentin, and Memo put it away. But also when it came to defending, we were still a little bit shaky. Like, my level of trust when it came to the back line wasn't 100% there. I felt like we needed something. I felt like we just couldn't contain them. And in my head, in the back of my head, I was like, man, if they had Vela right here, right now, they would have wrecked us. Like, they literally would have wrecked us. So I guess we can just be thankful that Vela wasn't there. And going into the second half, obviously we got that third goal with the VAR. Of course, Elise was not offside, but you needed VAR to kind of confirm that. But it's a great ball. He actually was pretty alone. I was very surprised. It was terrible defending by LAFC, and to be honest, second half we were still kind of bringing that same momentum. I can't say that word. Momentum. I can't say it. I tried. So we were still bringing that same energy. There you go. New word. A new energy that we kind of left with the first half. So we started the second half with a little bit more momentum. More energy, better touches, but the back line, Jesus, that back line was just so not, like, it wouldn't give you confidence. Like, I just couldn't feel that confidence from the back line. It just made you like want to just jump back there and be like, hey, I got your back. And then at this point, like when it came to about minute 75, we were about 3-3, a lot of people were talking about Marek, the goalie, basically. He probably could have done a little bit better defending those balls. Like for example, the goal from Rossi. I mean, even though Rossi literally fired a freaking rocket to his face, you would think. I mean, is coming from a guy that is not a goalie. Let me just put that out there. But you would think he would have had a better reaction. I'm not an expert, I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. It looked like the ball from Rossi was like extremely, fast and rocket-like. But then the third goal that kind of came, through the bottom, it seemed a little bit easier. Like I said, I am not a goalie, and I would have sucked when it came to that, defending that ball. But, you expect a little bit more from like a professional like him. But so I see where people were complaining about that. I see where he could have probably done a better job. But also, don't forget that Marek had, I know one exactly, like I can think of, but he probably had one or two like very, very important saves. He had one that actually he punched out like on a cross. And then he had one like one-on-one kind of almost with Wright Phillips in the first half that should have been a goal, and I think he was able to cut that momentum for them at that time. I said momentum, right? So then when it came to the last 10 minutes of the game, Tab Ramos literally said, we are not going to be attacking anymore. we are going to get that bus that we came in, and we're going to park it right in front of the goal. He moved to a line of 5 in the back. With London coming out, he brought in Junqua, and then he threw in Cabrera to literally get, form that, like, the 3 center backs with Kiki, Maynard, Cabrera, and then Sarek Valentin on one side and Junqua on the other. And then literally he put Seren in, and he had Seren, Vera, and Boniek literally containing the middle. And then you just had Lemoyne and Manotas literally to like run every ball that they could. Which Lemoyne, I saw that Edson, shout out to Edson from down in the valley, and the PO, shout out to the guys. Obviously, he has seen Lemoyne in RGV, and he was seeing how he was a little bit surprised about how well he did for being his first like professional Division 1 game in a way. And then I saw people also commenting how he was very shaky, he looked very shy, which I agree with both parts. Lemoyne, he's a young kid. I mean, he's 20, not too young when it comes to. At 20, also with RGV experience, you would think that you would come out a little bit more like toughened up. But I think he did what he could with what he had. Literally just like, hey, here's the ball, go chase it. He had one that towards the end that he had a shot and got blocked, but maybe he took a little bit too long to shoot the ball. But give it up for the kid. And I think he did an okay job, a pretty good job in coming in and like kind of containing, or helping contain LAFC as we did. So I think we did okay. Honestly, I don't think anybody likes the fact that we parked the freaking bus. But then at the end of the day, I guess you have to look at, like, you have to be real with yourself. Be real with the fact that, yes, you don't want to park a bus, but at the same time, we are Houston Dynamo coming out from shitty season after shitty season after shitty season. And, we're not looking the greatest either, And it's just, it is what it is. So I kind of made a list of like positive things and negative things that I probably saw. So positive things, just to be positive. Let's go negative, I guess. So then we can just end up on a positive note. Negative, obviously depth. Depth of this team is going to be a pain in the ass because, let's be honest, nothing against Junqua. But even like people were saying like, I forgot, I saw it on Twitter, but they were like, they really fixed the fact that, we had Beasley last year and, this year we had Lundy, which is like, he's good, I guess, but he is not like, he still has to prove himself, I don't want to say he's bad. He just still has to prove himself that, he has done really good things on that side. He's very well when it comes to attacking, but then when it comes to defending, he's still a little bit shaky. And that's just being honest to what I see. He might disagree, but, I really like Lundy, and I really like how he plays. And just because, I played in that position and I kind of know what it takes a little bit. And I like how he attacks, how he goes into the attack, how he's quick, he can put crosses and stuff like that. But, you still kind of are not in a trial period, but you also have to, prove yourself that you are worthy of being a starter in a way. He kind of got the job out of, like, not seniority, is that the word? But, because Beasley went and there was nobody else, and he's kind of there. Junqua, obviously, he's a young guy. He's still literally playing his first games as a professional. So you kind of have to understand him in a way, but also be, reasonable enough to say, hey, Junqua, like, this is the big leagues, bro. You got to get it together. He didn't do a bad job. But in the past, he has done shitty jobs that kind of make you question his future in a way. So obviously, he's going to have to come in and prove the naysayers wrong. And, he's going to have to prove that he has grown from his mistakes. and he's gonna have to push forward and just show a different face to who Sam Junqua is becoming in a way, But always think about the positive and not just always the negative of the guys. But yeah, depth. Like, if Ellis is not there, who's gonna be running on the side? If for two, I think we have center backs. We are okay. I think they need to do a better job, but I think we're okay. But yeah, depth. Like, literally, we took the guys out from the front, and there was literally nobody else to run it but Manotas, and you can only run so much in this 300-degree weather with like 84%, 100,000% humidity and all this crap, But yeah, another negative thing, you were winning 3-1. Comfortable, in a way. Like, it's not a big lead, but it's a lead. A 3-1 lead, and you have to hold it for 45 minutes in a way. And you lost it. And you almost were at, little brinks of losing the game and being flipped on you. And then also shaky. Like, we cannot come in anymore into these games. And I completely understand that we were out for months and months and months. So I guess we have to give them the benefit of the doubt. But we also have to come in strong. And we have to come in. And I know we did. We scored first. But, like, this whole, like, not being able to pass 2 freaking balls. And I know maybe the plan was to, like, put through balls in the air for Ellis to chase them. But, you can only have Ellis chase a ball down for so long. Like, you just can't freaking send balls and have the guy, like, I don't know, get a new pair of lungs in halftime. Like, it's not reasonable for somebody to run 90 minutes full speed for balls and not having anybody in the box. So we need to come. I don't know. I mean, Tab Ramos has a tough job trying to figure out somebody. I mean, honestly, I wish we had the freaking money to buy a number 10 and to have somebody that can actually hold the goddamn ball. I don't know why I'm getting so crazy about this, but I just think a number 10 would make a whole lot of difference in this team. Like, I think if somebody holding the ball in the middle, and that's what kind of Quinteros did for a little bit. I don't know if you guys noticed, but Quinteros was doing an okay job in holding the ball, kind of slowing things down just a little bit. That kind of, it would make the game go really, really fast, and then he would stop a little bit and then go on next, like keep going, which kind of threw everybody off. But somebody that can do that in a more enhanced way, in my opinion. Of course, everything is in my opinion. But some positive things. Let's just think about the positive things. We have a great counter. We have names for counter. Like, we have really good names for counters. We have an Elise. We have a Memo. We have a Manotas. We have a Quinteros. We have not a Ramirez right now. But I think we have like some good names that when going into the counterattack, they're going to be able to put the ball in the back of the net. I mean, given Memo did it twice and stuff like that. We have two wingers that can go up and down and put those balls in the box. We have Cedric Valentin on the right, Lundy on the left. Those are guys that can go up and put those balls inside. So we have to think about that, see how we can utilize them more, I guess. We can score. We scored 3 goals against LAFC. That's something, right? Something positive. Dynamos are not really known for scoring 3 goals in one game. So 3 goals in one game, at least you got 3 in, I mean, you got 3 against you, but we were able to get our feet wet. So, hopefully against Timbers or Galaxy, coming up next, then we're able to keep that momentum going of scoring. And also, which I guess could be bad, but I guess you have to look at it in the positive way, is that we tied 3-3 to LAFC. We gave them somewhat of a game. We kind of made them work for it. We didn't coward ourselves and just sat back the whole entire game. We gave them, we made them get scared at points. Like, we attacked them. We counter, I guess, because we didn't really attack them too much, but we counter-attacked them. And we played our game. There's sometimes games are meant to be played in a counter-attacking way, depending on who you're playing. And I think we played an okay game when it came to this. So let's go do this. I'm gonna do the points, or not points, but the scores for each players, and then I'm gonna go ahead and shut it down because I talked a good enough while. And LA Galaxy Portland is back on the TV. So Merrick, I'm gonna give him a 7. 7 because he probably could have done a better job, but then he also had really good saves. So 7. Sarek Valentin, he was probably one of the better ones, just because he was really consistent when it came to defending. He didn't lose that many balls. So I'm gonna give him an 8. And I know people tell me that I'm very like I'm too nice, but it is what it is. It's not real. So let me be nice, friend. Kiki and Maynard, I'm gonna combine them, and I mean they did clear balls. I think Maynard went a little bit harder than Kiki, so I'll give Maynard a 7, Kiki a 6. They could have done better. Lundy, he was shaky. I'll give him a 6. I didn't like him too much today. He left too many holes for my liking. Vera and Boniek, they're always my top players. They have become my favorites just because, as I play left back also, I love playing that middle position of keeping the center for us. So I'll give both of them a 7. Ellis did a better job. He attacked, he scored, so I'll give him an 8. Quinteros was a really good player when it came to holding the ball, but other than that, we didn't really see any sparks, so I'll give him a 7. Memo, I think we scoring 2 goals, and was the only one that kind of attempted to create or attack, and he is not afraid. Something that I love about Memo is that people think of him as a young guy or whatever, and he's a short dude or whatever, but the dude is not afraid. So Memo, if you're listening, I really like the way you fight. Come on the podcast one more time, and I'm gonna give you a 9. Manotas, he was kind of silent, so I'll give him a 7. Seren, he played only a little bit, he did good, 7. Junqua played a little bit, did okay. There was nothing to reproach him. Is that a word? I know in Spanish it's reprochar, but so I'll give him a 7. And then Lemoyne, for being his first game and doing an okay job, I'll give you a 7.5. So yeah, next week I'll probably do a little breakdown. I was actually gonna start a breakdown on the Champions League, on the final teams. It's kind of shitty that City was able to come in just because they're City and they have money, but we'll talk about that next time. So thank you again for listening. I know this one went long as well, but it's okay. I don't, if you listen, you listen. If you don't, you don't. I try to keep them short, but I like to talk, so don't give me a mic because I will talk. So yeah, I was gonna talk about Messi going to LA. That's not gonna happen. So whatever. Dallas is out, obviously. Nashville is out, obviously. Something that intrigued me was Rock Nation signing with AC Milan. They had like a partnership. We'll probably talk about that next week. And then obviously City coming back into the Champions League over here, robbing people. But it is what it is. So I'll see you guys next time. QuattroQuattroDos. Portland just scored. QuattroQuattroDos. Also, don't forget to subscribe on the channel here. I'm trying to get to 100, so if you can hook it up with a little subscribe or whatever, or like or whatever. I got 16, so hey, we're almost there. Only like 84 left. And then Twitter. Hopefully soon enough, I'll be able to get a little gift that I have from a Dynamo player. And I'm gonna actually do a giveaway, so hopefully we'll get that sooner than later. And then we'll do that giveaway for the people, one time for the culture. Also, if you want to get on the podcast, if you want to talk, if you want to have a conversation, hit me up. I already talked to a couple of people. Listen to all the interviews that I've done. Do you like them? Do you don't? Some people have been saying they like it. So shout out to you that you have commented on my YouTube videos. A Sly Rooster, I think it is. I don't know who you are, but shout out to you, brother, or sister, whatever you are. So yeah, hit me up if you need something, or not really because I don't have money, but hit me up if you want to be on the podcast, and we'll make it happen. So we'll see you guys next time. See y'all later.